They always say love should come with boundaries, but I didn't believe them. I thought love meant giving your all, 100%. When I met Daniel, he was charming in that broken boy kind of way, the kind that makes you want to fix him. He was poorly dressed with his worn-out slippers. I had a stable job, a small apartment, some savings, while Daniel had stories about struggle, about dreams, about needing an opportunity to break out of this poverty. I thought I was his answer, and he made me feel like I was. Few months after we started dating, Daniel moved in with me, said he had accommodation issues. I welcomed Daniel happily. I covered the rent, the food, even his clothing and shoes. I didn't mind doing all this, but sometimes he'd sigh and say, "I hate that I can't even contribute to the house. It makes me feel useless." I'd hold him, remind him that he wasn't useless, and I was happy to do it all. However, I was worried about how he felt useless, so I offered more, a means of livelihood. I helped Daniel register a business, D-World, a gym equipment store. Everything inside the store was shipped from the UK. I paid for everything. Then I handed it all over to him.
I even told the lawyer to put his name on the papers as the owner. The lawyer hesitated, saying we weren't married, but I insisted. We soon got married, a small ceremony, and I paid for everything again. Down to his singlet and boxers, I paid for it. But then, after the wedding, Daniel began changing, slowly. He got irritable when I asked about the business, said I didn't trust him, that I was trying to control him, since I bought everything. So I stopped asking. Instead, I gave him more, access to my ATM, my savings, so he'd know I trusted him, so he'd know I wanted the best for him. But Daniel had different plans. Large sums started vanishing from my accounts. Equipment, he'd say. I'm helping a friend, someone in need. He'd also say he always had a reason for taking money out of my savings. And I always accepted it, because I loved him, because I didn't want to seem insecure. But inside, I was shrinking. He was taking too much, and I dared not make it an issue. This was because we were facing a greater issue. We couldn't have kids. Not for lack of trying. I did every test, every scan. The doctors said my eggs were inactive. That word haunted me, but I stayed hopeful. Daniel stood as a rock beside me. He said it didn't matter, that he didn't marry me for children, that he married me because he loved me, and I believed him. Until the necklace, a delicate gold chain, an M pendant. Mia. I didn't confront him, not immediately. I wanted to believe. Maybe it meant something else, maybe a gift for me. But deep down, I already knew. The truth came in fragments, messages, receipts, a bank transfer from my account to a hotel I'd never been to. I tried to keep it all in. After all men cheat, but I didn't expect this from Daniel. Unable to hold it in anymore, I confronted him.
So you've been cheating on me? Using my money? Building your future with someone else? I yelled at him that night. But Daniel didn't flinch, just leaned against the kitchen counter and said, "She's pregnant." I stood there, trembling, not sure of what to say next. He walked towards me and said, "It was a mistake, but she was giving him something. Something I couldn't give him for the past 2 years. A child, an heir, a lineage. That hurt the most." Daniel held my hands and told me how much he loved me, how much he wanted us to make this marriage work despite Mia's pregnancy. I stared at him and asked him what he wanted me to stay as, and he said, the first wife, meaning he was going to marry Mia. I was too shaken to scream, too broken to stay. He held my hands tightly as I was about to leave and said, "Emily, you're the strong one. You always have been. Don't go." stay. Manipulation. Dressed as praise. But I knew better this time. I left with my suitcase. I didn't have the strength to fight for what was mine. Because legally, none of it was me. The house, his name, the business, his name, even the car was in his name. I walked away with nothing but my suitcase and barely 100,000 naira in my account. My friends told me to fight, but I was tired. I wanted divine justice. Let God fight for me. I prayed for it. O God, avenge my cause. This was my prayers for months. I waited for Daniel's downfall, but it didn't come. Daniel thrived. New business, new baby, new life. Vacation around the world, with photos captioned, "Family, where life begins." But it didn't end there. Daniel was even featured in some young entrepreneurs to watch articles. I couldn't read it. Felt like staring into the bones of everything I gave up. I sobbed, but I didn't break. I started therapy to get myself okay. I learned to focus on myself and not let the past damage my future. It was hard, but I did it. Then I met Michael. I guarded my heart, told him everything about my past. He listened, then said, "You gave too much to the wrong person." Maybe I did, but I wasn't wrong for loving fully. Luckily, Michael wasn't like Daniel. He was sweet, genuine, and nice. We built something beautiful and got married after 3 years of courtship. No grand promises, just peace. And funny enough, we have a child of our own. Now I wonder if I was actually the problem, or Daniel was, and yet some nights when the world is too quiet, I think about Daniel. I wonder if he ever thinks of me. If he regrets how he treated me, how he took and took from me, until there was nothing left. I still wait for karma to find him, but it hasn't. But I'm still waiting at karma's door for Daniel.